Let's get into some shite. Howdy, folks. How are you? This is Rick with the Outta Toon Podcast. Thanks for joining me, hanging out with me here in lovely Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know where you are, but I hope it's as lovely as it is here. We've had some pretty good weather. You know, Atlanta's usually pretty steamy, pretty hot. It has been that off and on. Today's pretty, I guess it's okay. Pretty good. Looks nice outside. Temperature is a little tiny bit muggy, but not too bad. Hope you're doing well where you are. How are you? How have you been? You know, I became older since we last talked. Haven't we all really? But yeah, I had a birthday, and as you know, I just talked about it a lot. And it was pretty good. One of my, I would say, probably the funnest, is that a word? The funnest birthday that I've had in a while, which is good. Kid, you know, it just shows you that no matter how old you get, you can still have good birthdays, right? So my wife, and so that's really the reason why I had a good birthday. My wife made it happen. It's always good to have somebody who'll do that for you. So we went to my favorite place to eat. Now, I'm not a big fancy person. I do like to go to fancy restaurants. I do like to go to have nice food, but I don't know. I'm kind of a fan of just hanging out at casual places and not getting too fancy. If we go fancy, like, I don't know, fancy is for anniversaries, stuff like that, I think. Birthdays, just go have a good time. You know, go to, what's the pizza place with all the characters? I don't know. Just that's where kids go, you know, just go hang out and have a good time. Play some games and stuff. It's your birthday. So I went to a Grindhouse here in Atlanta. I'm going to just go ahead and say it's the best burger place in the world. I can't speak for meat burgers, but I will say we had some friends join us, and the guy had a burger and then ordered another one. So he had two of them. So I'd say that that's pretty good, right? I have the veggie burger, and the veggie burger made with the Impossible meat. Now, if you've not had it, it's probably the closest thing to real burger that if you're a vegetarian. Now, a lot of vegetarians don't want burger that tastes like meat, and I can't understand that, but they like their veggie stuff. That's okay. They have those too. So I had Impossible Burger. So it's just like eating a real burger, really, for me. And they fix it on the grill. It's all smoky. It's just great. Fantastic. So I had a double, and then I had onion rings and fries. Frings, they call them, right? And all the food you're not supposed to eat when you're old, because it gives you high blood pressure and sends you all that closer to death. And I'm okay with that. I'm getting there anyway. So might as well have some burgers as I go. So, but that was fun. And then I had a boozy shake. Now, a boozy shake is just what it sounds like. It's a milkshake full of booze. And my wife and I like to go. I have one. My favorite is called Cinnamon Toast Crunk. And it's just what you think it is. It's a shake, and it's got cinnamon toast crunch pieces in it. And then it has cinnamon... what's that? Hot cinnamon liquor, whatever, whiskey. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. It's got that in there. It's so good. I could just drink a bunch of them, but I don't want to drive home. So anyway, that was my birthday, and that was fun. We kind of sort of made a weekend of it. We did 2 or 3 kind of things, and that was cool. So I did get my cigar. I don't know if you saw the video. I did record a video. It's long, and that's okay. It takes a while to smoke a cigar. You can fast forward through it if you don't like all the stuff. But I did get a cigar. I smoked it. I made a video. It's on the YouTube channel, the Outta Toon Podcast YouTube channel. It's also on the Facebook page. So go check it out. If you want to see me smoking a cigar, oh, man, it was a little rough. And also had a beer, which was good. It was just a simple little beer. And that's good. So go check out the video there if you want to watch me do that. And then the one thing that I didn't make a video of was my colonoscopy. And we all thank me for doing that. Not doing that, I should say. I had a colonoscopy just 2 days before my birthday. They went up inside, did some exploring, some spelunking. I think they found a few bats in there and scared them out. Get out of there, bats. And so, this was my second colonoscopy. So the first one I was very anxious. This one I was very relaxed. Different kind of scenario. But, there's something about, so if you have not had a colonoscopy, it's fine. It's cool. Do it. Go get it done. The only kind of pain is, they put an IV, they got to poke you a little bit. That wasn't too bad. Although they couldn't find, so used to when I was younger and anytime they had to go draw blood or they had to do, get a needle in my vein, they never could do it. I was told I had roly veins. So my veins would roll away from the needle. That sounds as bad as it is as bad as it sounds. So they would have to. So I remember I get blood one time, I think it might have been when I was getting married in Georgia the very first time, and they stuck a needle in my, and she couldn't find it, and she poked me like 3 or 4 times, and finally she stuck it in, and then she looked for the vein while the needle was in my hand. They searched around for it with the needle. That hurt like crap. Had a big, huge bruise on me for a long time. That's ridiculous. So anyway, that sort of went away for a while. People seem to have, I don't know if it's just more professional or my veins have gotten better. But people have been able to find my veins. So I haven't had quite as much trouble, except this time they had to do it twice. So that wasn't cool, but colonoscopy turned out to be fine. I got 100 on my score. I didn't look at anybody else's butt, too. This was all mine. It came all from me. And so I don't have to do it again. I think they said 5 years. Got 5 years, I don't have to have a colonoscopy. So that was fine. It's nice for them saying, your butt looks good. In and out, baby. So all that's done. Got to get my weight back down. I spent some time eating really well, lost some weight, blood pressure was down, was doing good, and then I just kind of was like, to heck with it, and I started to eat. I do that a lot, and then I start eating more, and then it's just not good. So I'm back on. My wife and I both are back on a diet, trying to get everything down. It's hard to lose weight when you get this old. If you tried it when you're young, it's easy. I remember, I want to lose weight just in a week. I could drop 20 pounds in a week. I'll bet, just by thinking about it. Here, I could try really hard, do everything, walk, exercise, all of the stuff, lose nothing. And then I could think about eating a lettuce sandwich and I'll gain 20 pounds. I'm serious. That's the truth. Check me. Check the facts. So that's it. So how are you? How's your medical? Have you had people exploring, looking up and doing things? Have you? It's good. You should do it. I didn't get birthday presents. I don't think. My wife got me one. Now, here's the thing. So I have said this on the show before. I'm kind of done with concerts, right? Live concerts, I'm pretty much done. It's not that I don't enjoy them. I do. But I just get to a point where, I don't know, I think it's just old, get off my lawn person thing, where you don't want to, I don't know, the trouble to go to it is... And this is not all old people. I know some people go to concerts all the time that are close to my age, and that's cool. I wish I could do it. But to me, first of all, just driving through Atlanta traffic, then going to the place, standing in line, giving your ticket, going in. I don't know if you're like, I saw Flogging Molly, one of my favorite bands in Atlanta, and I'd stand up and watch them in this big crowd of people. And it just, after a while, it's just like, I could watch a video at home. This is too much. I don't even think I stayed till the end. I can't even believe that. I had tickets to Flogging Molly and didn't even watch it till the end. So anyway, I got to a point where I've seen some really, really good concerts here. But I just got to the point where I just said, I can't. It's easier to stay at home. So I really decided that the only concert I would go see, I think, the only concert left I would go see at my age, Jason Isbell, probably one of my favorite artists right now. And I thought I would go see him. And he did I think a 4-night run here in Atlanta. Tickets sold out. And but honestly, I've just kind of got to the point where it's like, I don't even know if I've got the patience to do that. So I was kind of giving up on it. And anyway, for my birthday, my wife gave me Jason Isbell tickets. So we're going to go see Jason. He's not in Atlanta. We're going to do a little trip. And that should be fun, I think. Don't you think? Should it be? I guess. I don't know. I'm at the age where I need to start smoking pot, right? I've never done it before. I've heard it could get rid of some pains. It just make you feel good, and maybe it'll kind of get me in the mood to listen to some concerts and eat Doritos. I've heard, so that might be good. If you do it, do you recommend it? I don't know. I've had some people in my life really try hard to get me to do it. I've come close a few times, and then I just kind of say no. I'm not recommending you do it. I'm not. It's actually legal in a lot of places now. I don't think it'll be too much longer before it'll be legal here in Atlanta. Maybe I'll do it. I don't know. Should do it before I go see Jason. All right, so that was my birthday. Everything was good. I think everything turned out well, and I'm happy about it. If you listen to the show on a regular basis, you can get in touch with us here at the show. A lot of ways to do it. But we do have a listener line, 678-348-0008. We got email. We got Facebook communication kind of things. So come hang out with us. Let me know what you think of the show. I'm curious about it. I'm going to talk about it here in a second. I've got a few things here first. Let's do a little bit of news. Yeah, we haven't done that in a while, right? I got some news here that I want to talk to you about. Let me put my glasses on because I got to read this news. It's important news. A Kentucky man is facing several years behind bars for illegal accessing the online death registry and faking his own death to avoid having to pay over $100,000 in child support to his ex-partner. That's Father of the Year, right? 39-year-old Jesse Kempf admitted to accessing the death registry system in Hawaii using login details he stolen from a doctor in the same state January of last year. According to investigators, he created and assigned a file to himself in the system, and he impersonated the doctor to certify that he had died. Now, this is pretty creative, I gotta say. This guy, I mean, he might be dumb, but he's not dumb. Court documents show that he also admitted to illegally accessing various websites run by the state of Arizona and Vermont, along with Guest Tech. Is that a website? Guest Tech? Interactive Entertainment and Milestone Incorporated, which led to him being listed as dead in several government databases. Dude is dead. I have a feeling this is going to come back and haunting him. In a plea agreement, the defendant claimed that he committed these crimes in part to avoid paying outstanding child support to his former wife. In part, he says. In part. What's the other part? Just for fun? Probably. He completed a state of Hawaii death certificate worksheet, and then on January 21st, the defendant assigned himself as the medical certifier for the case, and he certified that case. He applied a digital signature for the physician, providing his name, title, and license number. Some jail time right there. This resulted in the defendant being registered as deceased in many government databases. To make matters worse, Kempf admitted to hacking into private business, governmental, and corporate networks using credentials stolen from other people, and he attempted to sell access to the networks to online buyers. Okay. I mean, dead people don't do that, right? On March 29th, the 39-year-old pleaded guilty to one count of computer fraud and one count of aggravated identity theft. Really, that's all he gets? That's not too bad. According to the plea agreement, Kempf must pay back the parties he defrauded through his actions, including $116,000 in child support to his ex-wife and $79,000 to the government and corporate networks he illegally accessed. Furthermore, the plea deal comes with a maximum prison sentence of 7 years, as well as $500,000 in fine, all to avoid paying $100,000. I don't think that that was a good bargain, really. I'm thinking maybe the guy should have had a second thought about that. All right. A 40-year-old Italian man took a doctor and 2 medical clinics to court after paying for a penis enlargement procedure that he claims left him with impotence and erectile dysfunction. Checking to see if my name's on here. No. The unarmed man from Tuscany, Italy, allegedly paid a cosmetic surgeon 5,000 euros, which is about 5,400 American dollars, for a penis enlargement procedure. But after about a month, see, I didn't know that these were actual real. I thought that was a scam. Sounds like it anyway. This was the beginning of a painful odyssey that saw the patient undergo a total of 12 procedures in an attempt to fix the initial botched surgery. Botched surgery around the word penis is not something I enjoy. According to court documents obtained by Italian news media, the man had 2 lipofilling operations in which fat from various parts of his body were transferred to his penis in order to adjust its shape. No. Unfortunately, they did not have the desired effect. No, as the man's genitals did not maintain the expected shape and volume. It's like a balloon animal. A giraffe. A hippo. A penis. All right. The Florentine edition of Italian newspaper La Repubblica wrote that the man allegedly underwent several other procedures to repair the damage to his genitals. I only have one genital. But that only made things worse. According to experts quoted in the court documents, during some of these procedures, silicone, which had been banned since 1993, was used. He can pick up really hot things with his penis now. After going through a reported 12 procedures which left his penis deformed and unable to be used in a sexual act, the man was asked to undergo the knife once again, at which point he decided to sue the doctor and the medical facilities where the procedures were performed. This just hurts. Anyway, compensation was set to 153,000 euros, which is about $165,700. But the patient ended up with only around 110 euros. This is not a good trade, because the court ruled that 30% of the damage he had sustained to his genitals was his own fault. I won't go say, I'll say 100%. Man admitted to administering injections, that he claimed were prescribed by the same doctor to his penis at home, which the court decided had contributed to the deformity and the erectile dysfunction. This story just, I don't know. I can't imagine. Here's something. This is a side thing. I just want to tell you about something. This is a really cool thing. So my wife has some medication. I'm not going to go into the details of it. It's medication that she takes, and I thought it would be funny that to put a penis in there. So because see, here's what it was like. I'm not really big into a lot of practical jokes, but I thought this would be funny. It's like she opens the top of it up and like this penis jumps out. I just thought that would be really hysterical. So I did a little search online to try to see if I could find a big jumping penis. And I went to Amazon and did a search, and I found this big foam penis. Well, you know, those little things that they kind of squish to kind of like stress relievers. They make those in penis. Yeah, they do. And I found one of those, and I stuck it in the bottle of her medication. I just pushed it way down there. So I figured when she opens it up, it'll go, boom, it's like pop right out. And it did. I waited 3 days for her to open that medication. She finally did, and the penis popped out. And we had a good laugh for a while. And now I'm stuck with a foam penis. I don't know what to do with it. What do you do with a penis? You can't take it to Goodwill. You can't give it off to strangers. You can't just like put it in a yard sale. So I have a foam penis. I don't know what to do with. Don't want to throw it away. Anybody need a penis? What do you do with it? It's like it's a great birthday party, I guess, a gift. I thought about giving it to some people for their birthday. I don't know. You got a birthday coming up? All right, next one, last one. A Missouri man allegedly tried to commit insurance fraud by paying someone to cut off both his legs and stage a tractor incident to cover it up. This, to me, these just keep getting worse and worse and dumber and dumber. Howell County Sheriff's Office recently investigated the most bizarre case in its history. In November of last year, a 60-year-old man from Willow Springs lost both his legs after allegedly suffering a brush hog accident. The brush hog is a rotary mower usually attached to tractors, and the man claimed to have had both legs accidentally cut off by one. However, there were a few holes in the man's story. First of all, in his torso. First of all, he had literally lost his legs, as in they were nowhere to be found, which was bizarre for this type of accident. Obviously, if you're going to cut them off, they're going to be leg parts and pieces laying all over the place. Didn't happen. Then there was the fact that the man's wounds were too clean to have been caused by a brush hog. See, you just didn't think this out carefully. He needs to get together with the penis guy. And finally, the man was a known paraplegic, which raised questions about how he had managed to find his way into the way of the tractor-operated brush hog. Okay. See, I understand this a little better now. He's paraplegic. He probably doesn't have any feelings. He's like, I don't need these legs anyway. What if they get cut off? Then I could get some insurance money. I'm not saying do it. I'm just saying I understand now. If it was done by a brush hog, it would have been a bloody, gory mess. Tori Thompson, a lieutenant with the Howell County Sheriff's Office, told the Springfield News Reader, I've seen those types of accidents before. This was not like that. Officers and medical personnel called to the scene of the accident were also very curious about the tourniquets on the stumps of his legs and who had put them on immediately after the accident. As the investigation continued and more holes appeared in the injured man's story, police discovered that a Florida man, of course, had visited the victim with a hatchet. All Florida men have a hatchet included. And allegedly chopped off his legs for a fee. It was later revealed the 6-year-old paraplegic had devised a plan to commit insurance fraud, and since he didn't really have any use for the legs, he decided to have him chopped off in a staged accident. But since the man hadn't yet filed a claim with the insurance company, there was no reason to charge him. There's no insurance fraud. He's dumb. He just lost his legs. At least he got a good story out of it, right? It was a poorly executed plan. I've never seen anything quite like it, Thompson said. Even though the paraplegic man could not be officially charged with insurance fraud, the sheriff's office was so annoyed with the waste of time and resources that it considered pressing charges of filing a false police EMS report. The problem was the man's injuries were so severe that incarceration was virtually impossible, so he decided to let him recover in the hospital instead. As for the man's lost legs, a relative of his reportedly found them in a bucket concealed by tires and turned them over to the investigators. Now you've heard kind of everything, right? I mean, I don't know. People. That's the problem. People. But it's also the entertainment. I mean, what else do we have to be entertained by? It's just all the crap that people do. I was told this week that the podcast sucked. So every podcast that I've ever done, I've had at least one person tell me the podcast sucks. So that's not a big deal. I mean, I understand, right? I know it sucks. You know it sucks. That's why you listen to it, because it sucks, right? I don't know. That's the thing. When you're doing something like this, you rarely get positive feedback. You almost always just get negative. So people are always happy to tell you when what you do sucks. Not as happy or not quick to report that they enjoy it. You don't get a lot of that. You just get a lot of feedback that it sucks. So someone did say that it sucks this week. I don't know what does it. I mean, let me know. Why are you listening if it sucks? That's all I'm saying. The thing about podcasts There's all kinds of podcasts. There's a million of them. If something sucks, just go to the next one. That's the way I look at it. I've heard some podcasts that I don't enjoy that are bad, and I just go, okay, it's not for me. I don't write them a letter and say they suck. I said, that's not for me. Go to the next podcast. Find a podcast that is for me. I listen to it. If it ever gets to the point where it sucks, I stop listening to it. It's how podcasts work. But you just think for a while. It's just like, it's easy. So being an artist, and podcast is an art form. You are an artist when you're, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. Everybody's really an artist, right? We're all artists at what we do. And as you're an artist, you're doing your art, whether your art is plumbing, whether your art is finance, people, real estate people. You're an artist if you're a real estate person. You have to make deals. You have to have insight. You have to have intuition. Right? And then skills that you learn. All of that put together makes you an artist. And it's the same way if you're doing a painting. A lot of people think that that's some kind of magic crap just because they don't do it. And if you're an abstract artist and you're doing work, there's always the people like, well, my kid could do that. Maybe not in that accent, but pretty close. So people always want to try to break down what you do. It's just like, okay. That's fine. My kid can eat a sandwich, but does that stop you from eating a sandwich? No. What is it about kids doing it that somehow is supposed to be an insult? Okay, kids can't do brain surgery, but neither can you. If you go to school to learn brain surgery, Doogie Howser did brain surgery. Do we know? Did I just date myself? Sorry about that. The thing is, just sometimes you just have, first of all, I just want to say to people, your opinion's not always valued in everything. If it's constructive, if you want to say, here's how you can make it better, and then give some suggestions to make it better, that's always helpful. Even if you don't like something, if somebody doesn't like my art, and believe me, there's a lot of people who don't like my art. If they could say, this part is why I don't like it, and it just doesn't touch me in any way. And this, if you could fix this, like here, maybe it would be better. That's somewhat constructive criticism, and it's helpful. If you want to say, your podcast is running too long, I can't understand a word you say, or it's boring, or whatever. Some of that stuff, that's constructive. That could be worked on. But it's just like, it's not good. That's just your opinion, and maybe your opinion's not any good. But I feel like we're all artists. I think about that a lot, and as a professional artist, somewhat professional artist. I think about it more all the time. I do feel like that people forget that we're all artists in some ways. I think society has kind of told us that we're artists if we do music, if we dance, if we paint, but not if we sell cars or if we climb poles and fix electric wires. But I've watched people work who build things and who are in construction, and they're just hammering nails or putting bricks up or installing cable, and all of that stuff is art. There's an art to it. If you see your job as an art rather than just a job, or even if you make it, not all jobs have the opportunity to be artistic, but they do if you make it that way. If you make it a challenge, if you try to become more artistic in that, and I think that's where things become more rewarding. Sometimes I'll look and say, how did this person be in this job for? This like, I'm retiring after 40 years, and I did this, and I just think, really, 40 years of that? How do you do that? And then I remember, well, it was an art to them. They enjoyed it. They made it an art form. I think that's how you get rewards in anything in life that we do, right? It's just is make it something that's creative, make it something that's not mindless. Even if you work in a factory and all you do all day long is stamp something or poke something or punch something, you do the same thing over and over. I've had jobs like that. I hate them. I don't like it. But when I mentally make it an art and I strive to make it the best that I can do it, and I challenge myself with artistic ways to do what I'm doing, even in the limited ways available, it becomes more rewarding. It becomes more challenging, and it becomes something that you get a little more pride in because it's artistic. So we're all artists. I don't know how you judge art. Do you? I mean, there's certain ways it's real easy. When there's a result, like if you're a car manufacturer and your art is making a car, the way you judge it is how good is the car? How does it drive? What kind of gas mileage does it get? Does it fall apart? Do you enjoy sitting in it? Can you go a distance and feel comfortable? But I don't know how you judge a podcast. Now, look, I'm not saying don't say the podcast sucks. If you want to say it, that's fine. That's what we have our listener line here, 467-834-8008, for you to call and give your evaluation. You can tell me what you think. You don't have to leave a name. You can email it, even if you want to do that. And so I ask for people's feedback on it, and that's great. If you want to just say it sucks, okay, I'll put that in a folder somewhere. That, in some ways it's helpful to know how many people think it sucks. But it's always helpful just to say, I'd love to hear this. Or maybe this doesn't work for me. Or I love this part of it. Or, it's entertaining every week when I listen to it. Whatever. All that stuff kind of helps. But when you're talking to an artist and you just say, that art sucks. My kid could do that. What do you get out of that? What is your entire goal, just to bring that person down? There's no reason to say it. You're not creating anything better when you do that. You're just tearing something down. Okay. I think I've said enough, right? Let me just say, my colonoscopy is great. Those people were artists. They created art in my butt. And I think a lot of art I've created have come out of my butt. That's what I've heard. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me, people. I enjoyed talking with you. We'll do it again next week. All right. Let's